is correct, that they are basically just experimenting with their App Store page, which is wild for one of the most sold games. But I do want to raise a point, which is the number of times they said the word algorithm here is something we are doing far too much as a society. Yes, algorithms are real, and nowadays, as more people consider themselves content creators of some form, whether that's on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, now people do all sorts of wild things and say, oh yeah, it's for the algorithm. People will be seeing all sorts of strange behavior and justify it by saying there is an algorithm that must favor this in some way. And I just want to go ahead and say that it's one of these scary things we do as a society. We used to have superstitions about how you should be cautious if you see a black cat, or we shouldn't step on the cracks, or walking under ladders is really bad luck. And now we've replaced those with this idea that there is an algorithm, and when things go well, it's because the algorithm has blessed us, and when things go poorly, it's because we've upset the algorithm, which is why we start inventing words like unalive, because, saying murder or anything like that was seen as a bad thing for a video. And I think it's wild that we've basically removed superstition for scientific reason, and now we've had this like pseudo, religion system where we just trust the algorithm, or rather, we don't trust the algorithm, but we don't want to anger it, and so we make sure not to say the scary words. Anyway, I think it's kind of ridiculous. You know what else I think is kind of ridiculous? This very fun thing from Raven Tofu, who is a Japanese Minecrafter. They built a merry-go-round or carousel, whatever you want to call it, and I think it's absolutely beautiful, don't you? Speaking of things that are beautiful, I heard one of the developers on the Vibrant Visuals team confirm the end flashes were supposed to be supernovas going off in space. Honestly, there is very little confirmation I can easily find from any Minecraft developer. It is a shame that Twitter became a political statement, like to be on it or not, because of, let's just say, how things are run over there, because it means that now there's not an easy place for people to say something and there to be a public record, because now if you want to find what Minecraft graphics developers think, they're on some private Discord somewhere that isn't searchable, and so you have to hear things through second or third hand like this. But a lot of people have been saying, indeed 57 people have voted, the idea that they are meant to be supernovas going off in space. This is an absolutely wild law change, and there's a part of me that would love saying, ooh, is it going to be an end update? But I am still trying to disassociate myself from the people saying, Mojang L, unless you do exactly what I want, you are a lazy company. And so instead, allow me to talk about this lazy company. Barry Pro 538 suggests an idea that I've been thinking of for a while, because Super Flat Core has been so much fun. That is because you've only been able to play hardcore on Super Flat since the last update about 3 weeks ago, and so Barry says, why don't you do it with the option to restart from your latest save point? This is something I've been playing around with. The idea of hardcore, but not true hardcore. It feels a bit wrong because it's very hard to explain, but I like the idea of hardcore where if you die, all of your progress since the last save point is wiped. In my case, the save points would be the start and end of each stream, because at the end of every stream, I back up my worlds because of the issues we've had between them. And so basically, it could be a fun little way to do that. I really would like to do this. I just don't know. This is where I need your help. What should I call that? It's not hardcore. Is it like harder than hard? It's somewhere between hard difficulty and hardcore. Is it softcore? I don't know if I should be saying that I'm playing softcore Minecraft, but I do know that I want your tips on what we should call that, because I would love to jump back into episode 1. I was in a really great place with so much ahead of me, but I need to know what should we call that series if we wanted to do that. Speaking of what if we wanted to do that, there are far too many capes. They've lost their value. I don't care about collecting them anymore. That's right, Robert Lean does not want to do it, and I think that honestly, Mojang are basically hoping for this reaction. It's the only way I can rationalize their behavior, because if we compare the way that capes work right now, where they are rare and valuable and people want every single one of them, willing to do entirely irrational things to get them, it's kind of a throwback to how discontinued items worked in RuneScape. If you're not familiar with those, they dropped items in the game you could only get for 1 or 2 days, and in 2003 they had to say, look, we're never doing one of these again, because many players started to get upset about the drop, which was the opposite of the intended effect. Instead of the cape being a huge benefit to those who have them, a lot of people started to be disappointed that they couldn't get them, and when Minecon tickets were selling in like 12 hours, even if you were willing to travel to the other side of the world, it would create huge problems in actually getting them. Therefore, the easiest way to strengthen people's accounts, which were at risk before, is simply to make there be so many capes that having a rare cape is nice but not essential, because now literally everyone and their grandmother's nan's bridge partner, they all have access to capes, and so whether you have a nice cape or a not so nice cape, it's entirely fine. Although with that said, so many people have asked me for codes to the villager experience, and yeah, just so you know, still planning that battle royale, but later today I'm going to the villager experience again. I'm going to level with you. It is I'm not looking forward to it in the slightest, but I am looking forward to telling you about the last two things from this video. Two very important notices from the week. The first of these was something that I did horribly wrong, and don't worry, I'll apologize for that. But the second of which is something I'm very excited about because this week is when we got a release date for V1.0 of Toycat's Toolkit. This is the second add-on that we put out as a studio. If you're not familiar, I hired Agent Mindstorm, who you probably know from Console Aspects or one of the many other things that you've probably downloaded without realizing. He is the lead for this project, and we have this same philosophy of what if there were actually features in an add-on that you would actually want in survival, that you could conceivably see Mojang adding, but all of the ones that would make your long-term survival world better. And some of those things are quality of life features, like being able to place blocks in midair. Look at me, this is the marketing shot we decided to use for that. But one of the other fun ones here is what if you had a crossbow, it's a heavy crossbow in this case, that could shoot different types of bolts, and even, that's right, slightly explosive ones. I love this a lot, and maybe you do too. But Toycat's Toolkit is coming out on May the 27th. I honestly, I have a lot of worry about the idea that we put Toycat in the name for this one, because it does feel a bit weird, but I figured it might be useful to explain that these are the things that I would want in my long-term survival world, and hopefully it's the sort of thing you look at and you want in yours, because it will be available on that date. I'm so excited. Anyway, the second thing is the apology that I have to go through, because I used a meme that I thought was fairly wholesome, where, as you can see, water bucket makes a happy ghast, lava bucket makes a sad ghast, and milk bucket makes a ghast that, needs to sneeze. And okay, I missed this one entirely. This is an insane thing to post, like at WTF. And so yeah, I got responses to that saying the asexual speculation might be real, and I guess kind of in response to that, I guess it's time that I do finally come out. I am officially a. Anyway, with that said, I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, favorite, and subscribe if you did, even if you can't do one of those things. And
They've come from behind, but you can still turn this around.
Just imagine you're smarter, future home, where one machine does the. As you guys know, Justin Bieber kissed Sexy Red the other day, and people have been going off. Even when I go to Google right now, I'm seeing new reports about it every hour. Still, it's a big thing. It's so crazy that Sexy Red even commented back about something to do with Haley. I mean, just look at this. So somebody said, Justin, don't be smiling like that with his girl, and got a ton of likes. Sexy Red said, yes, you do. It's just so crazy that she even responded to something like this. The rumors are so viral, and the comments are so crazy, and the fans are just that even Sexy Red commented back to something like this. Now Justin loves his girl. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's wild. Dude, I feel like that's what Justin needs to start doing, dude. He needs to go online and just start ripping fans apart. No fans, like people that comment this stuff, right? I think he should be maybe going online defending his wife a little bit and saying, like, that's my wife. Like, I love her dearly. Get out of my comments. Something like that. I don't know. But again, maybe they just ignore it, right? Just because it's like, leave us alone. Like, they know each other. They know the love they have. They don't need to listen to comments, right? But yeah, tell me what you guys think.
Corny. She got dirt all in the lips.
How's that corny, Brandon?
So what was the point of that? That was all
Kissing the
that
rock?
was all performance.
It was. It's different.
It was performative.
She had to be on the name because I was scared too in the space.
Man, they went in the anti-grab chamber.
Her lips picked up a couple of pebbles.
No. They went to space for real, but Do Perfect did this, but
Yeah, do her did do this before. We see multiple channels that went to space, and then that's
I
all
will do it.
All right, this guy says, fighting the fake news with facts. The Blue Origin flight with Katy Perry and other women did not really go to space like the media is portraying. They didn't actually experience microgravity either. Yes, technically, the rocket delivered passengers beyond the Klayman line, the internationally recognized boundary of space, 62 miles. But they really just hit that point at apogee. There was no orbital insertion, not even close. The brief state of weightlessness during the ascent and descent was not due to escaping the Earth's gravity, but the because of a combination of free fall and the absence of a supporting force, similar to the sensation of being weightless at the peak of a roller coaster. Essentially, they were falling towards the earth, and the absence of the rocket's upward thrust simulated a feeling of weightlessness. Basically, it's a capsule launched really high and then immediately falls back down to earth. All the floating around drama. Katy Perry's girl power bullshit in space. Not a damn astronaut. She's the Hollywood elite who thinks she's special. See, I don't think it's that deep.
Yeah, they went to space.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
They went to space.
I would do that if I could. Like,
They talked to them.
Who is this guy? He's Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy calls out. They're not the whole thing, not the whole thing. The all-female space order flight said they do not meet the criteria to be an astronaut.
Yeah, no, I'm astronaut. They went up there, bro. I would do it.
We know they're not astronauts.
I believe this.
Watch the two-part video.
I don't believe it. This is what they did. They didn't go to space either.
I heard it, bro.
You see black?
Like right there.
It's not just about going to space.
Not enough force yet.
It's the training. It's the team. It's the whole thing. We weren't just taking up space. We were making space for the future. And like Gail said, this wasn't a ride. It wasn't a destination. It was a journey. You never know the amount of hope that you have inside of you to give and to receive.
That is not a friggin' ride. Whenever a man goes out, you have never said to an astronaut, boy, what's not?
Yeah, y'all not no astronauts. This was a ride.
Shepherd goes back.
Experience.
You have never said to an astronaut, boy, what are we? You know, we duplicated the same trajectory that Alan Shepard did back in the day. We're pretty much. No one called that a ride. It was called a flight. It was called a journey. Because a ride implies that it's something frivolous or something that's lighthearted. There was nothing frivolous about and the machine and what it took for the people to get that machine up and running, get us up and get us back down safely. So, you know, I'm very disappointed. I'm very saddened by it. And I also say this, that what it's doing to inspire other women and young girls, please don't ignore that.
Okay, first off, I'm gonna say that y'all are rioters. When the cabin is called like Blue Origin, you guys are Blue Origin riders. You're not astronauts. You're not astronauts. Yeah. For a living, it's not good.
Well, they didn't say it was like bullshit.
Yeah.
But okay, like her doing this made it seem like they landed on first floor. So it's a loss. Like they fell on the stage.
Can you take a joyride to the Earth's outer layer? Something revolutionary. A joyride to the Earth's outer layer.
Did that just because they were campaigning. See them to an all-woman cabin, and they just criticized it.
Chill, bro. He gonna break down. They said it's gonna be like Bruce Lee and Maurice. Stop right there. Young Thug. Stop. All right, stop, Cap. I swear to God, I see that. I don't know if you remember that. They called him Bruce Lee. I said, but what is the DEI? I'm just kidding. 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 During this, who the hell can you mention? I know. I was just saying.
Shakira, take 5. Perfect. Let's go over the middle section. In 5, 6,